What's good, people? This is Matt with BuyHDBeats.com. I just wanted to answer a question that I get a lot, and I'm sure everybody else gets it too. It's which DAW or digital audio workstation sounds the best? There's so many out there, and so I just want to kind of address that and go over some of the information I've learned. Maybe that can help you out. First, you need to understand the signal flow and how that works. When you're recording vocals or recording instruments, you're taking an analog signal and then you're running it through either an audio interface or an internal sound card to your CPU, whether it's a PC or an Apple, whichever. You run it to the software or to your DAW. When it goes through the interface or the sound card, it goes through an A to D converter or an analog to digital converter, so it can be received by your program or the software. That is one of the biggest things when you're dealing with interfaces. Conversion is one of the main things that affects your sound quality. Of course, the way you record it as well. You don't want to record through a really crappy mic, you're going to get a really crappy sound. But sound quality, conversion has a huge influence on that. The better your converters, the better your sound. Unless you're looking for a certain taste, that is an opinion. If someone wants crappy converters for some reason because they like the way it sounds, to each their own. There's other factors involved such as clocking, etc., but I won't get into that right now. These days, interfaces are so good, you should be able to get great sound from most of them. And you can achieve excellent sound quality from interfaces even in the $200 to $500 range. So once the signal enters the digital arena on your computer and into your DAW of choice, it becomes basically a bunch of numbers, zeros and ones. And all the tasks are accomplished from math and summing. Each DAW has to do a bunch of adding or summing, but they all have to accomplish the same task. So no DAW should really sound any different than the other. If everything's equal, that is, meaning you don't have EQs or dynamics or any kind of changes, if you just have everything, equal. That being said, I have heard that people have put like 2 exact sessions into Pro Tools and Logic, and they felt like there was a difference in the sonic spectrum, or the stereo field was a little different, meaning like maybe it felt a little more open, one felt a little more bunched together, and that could be attributed to pan laws. I'm not going to get much into that, but basically pan laws have to do with when you pan a sound from left to right, how that is accomplished. Basically, when you have a sound on a left speaker, it becomes like, it feels like it's on the left side because there's more amplitude or there's more volume sent to that side. So I have heard that some DAWs do it differently. That would have an effect on putting the same track in 2 different DAWs, panning them the same amount or not panning at all, and possibly could affect the sound. So the big question, what is the best digital audio workstation? That answer is still not an easy one. It really is whatever you like best and what fits your workflow. There's so many of them out there. We'll just take a look at a few here. Some of the ones I use a few different ones. I use Pro Tools. Also, I use Reason and FL Studio. I have a PC, so I really don't get into Logic, but lots of people use Logic. But there's tons out there. I basically use, which DAW I use depends on what the task is. If I'm just wanting to lay down a quick idea, I often go to Reason or FL Studio because their workflow is really fast. I really enjoy it. I can get an idea down really quick. And you could do that with Pro Tools as well, but I tend to gravitate towards these 2 when I'm doing that. Pro Tools, on the other hand, is my main go-to when I'm mixing or mastering of any kind. I just really like the way that the sends work and their channel set up, and I don't really care so much for FL Studio's bus and aux, sends and how they have that set up. But it doesn't mean it's worse or better. Again, it's whatever works for you and your workflow. Also, you need to take into consideration which DAW is going to work best for your operating system. You know, I have a PC, so I'm not going to use Logic because it would never run, and that would be really stupid. You know, other than that, there's not a huge difference. You know, I mean, I don't know. You should always check compatibility with interfaces, with whatever DAW you're using. Always check the compatibility and run that against what computer you use. That way you can make sure that they're going to work together, because there's nothing worse than having a system that just has problems after problems. By the way, we all have problems with our systems, and you know what? They happen so that you can learn and understand the ins and outs. So even though you might be struggling one day and you're like, man, I'm just having all these issues, there's a reason for it. You're learning, you know. Maybe you're learning that you don't want to use the setup you have. That's learning the hard way, but you're still learning. As far as Reason is concerned, it's a little different than a lot of these other programs, because as far as different plugins like EQ and compression and limiters and different things like that, they do not accept what is called VST plugins. You can't just go online and download a VST and use it like an EQ that someone made. You can do that with these other programs. I'm not sure about Logic, but you can do that with a lot of other programs. With Reason, they use rack extensions. Doesn't mean they're better or worse. They have EQs, they have everything that you need to accomplish with any of these other DAWs, but it's just different. They do it a little bit differently, and it's called rack extensions. You can buy them in their store, their shop. And let's check it out here. Yeah, see the rack extensions and refills. And they have all different kinds of stuff. There's compressors and etc. So my advice really to everyone is to try out ones, and see what fits best for you. What's going to help you accomplish your goals the best. I'll have more videos regarding different DAWs in the future, but I just wanted to address this question, as I do get it a lot. So thanks for checking out this video. I hope it was helpful. If you have a minute, and you could possibly subscribe to our page if you haven't already, and like us on Facebook, that goes a long way, and we'll be able to bring more information to you. We're just trying to share as much as we can. Lastly, if you're an artist or you're just looking for some free beats, you can get that here. You can get on our list, and it'll give you access to all the beats we ever put out. They will have a vocal tag on them, which if you didn't want that, you could always go on our site and lease a beat without the vocal tag, or contact us about an exclusive. Lastly, we do have email list, and if you sign up for that, I want to promise you that you're not going to be inundated with a bunch of spam and crap. No, we're not trying to do that. We will send you information on tips and tricks and the occasional beat and instrumental that we're putting up, and maybe some contests that we're going to do in the future. I really want to do a lot of artist contests, and I'm looking forward to that, but that's something in the future. But again, we're not going to send you just a bunch of emails, nor will we be giving your information away to anyone else, so you can feel at peace with that. Again, I thank you for taking the time to check out this video. Much love to you. Peace.